established in 1846. So, if you recall, as I'm sure you do, all of the history of the year 1846 here in the United States, there's a test.
Okay.
Right, you'll remember that that was really a pivotal year for several reasons. Number one, we settled the boundary line from the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific at the 49th parallel, which was, we almost went to war with England again before this was settled. So that was all going on, you know, politically. Down in Texas and in the Southwest, we went to war with Mexico. So, oh my goodness. We've got a president who's an expansionist, James K. Polk. There's a whole lot of economic and political activity at the time that this trading post is established in the middle of nowhere. The upper Missouri was still considered Indian country, even though, yeah, I know, Lewis and Clark thought that they had purchased this territory from Napoleon, who thought he owned it. And this is one of those real estate deals, kind of like in the intergalactic real estate market. There's a guy who thinks he owns the Earth, and he's going to sell it to another guy from another galaxy, and one day they're going to send a spaceship of traders down here, and they're going to say, oh, by the way, we bought your planet, so you're now part of our galactic, you know, union, and we're just going to go, excuse me, you can't buy the Earth, which is exactly what the natives were thinking. All these non-natives came into their country and said, yeah, you know, we're now the great white father here, and you need to, you know, pay attention to what we tell you to do. Now, this is 30 guys and a woman traveling up the river, you know, with an American flag and some peace medals. And I can just imagine, you know, you're not talking to children. You're talking to full-grown warriors who, in this region, have a 6,000-year history of living here. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine these guys? You know, they're just kind of looking at these Americans, just kind of going, did you hear what that guy said? You know, that's ridiculous. But that's a nice gun, you know. And, yeah, can you bring more guns? And Lewis and Clark promised more traders. So all of the upper Missouri Indian tribes decided, hey, this is a good thing. Let them think what they want. Bring guns. Our trading post, established in 1846, is the last expression of what began effectively with Lewis and Clark in 1805-06. The last expression meaning that at the end of its history, as a fur trading fort for a large American corporation, the American Fur Company, in 1865, the end of the American Civil War, fur trading effectively was pretty much over because the natives were no longer at peace, meaning that there was so much immigration into their country that in their consternation, because of course they were well aware of a treaty consummated in 1855 with them, which more or less said, look, you don't have to give up any land, but this is your territory as long as the grass grows and the river flows. Now, take a look outside. Is the grass growing? Is the river flowing? And yet, you know, about 10 years later, these people come in and just go, that treaty, sorry, that one never made it through Congress. You know, so the natives are going, what does that mean? So right away, you can see that fur trading, to be peaceful, has to really pretty much base itself not on what's going on around it, but the interpersonal relationship developed by the fur traders with the natives at their level of understanding.